Hold on, I'll tell you.
This is for real, or?
Unfortunately.
What, is this for real? Yes. Okay.
All right, and stand by to go live. 45 seconds.
We'll cut down the countdown.
20 seconds. And record. And ready to dissolve camera 2 and to open A1, A2. 15 seconds. Rolling?
Yeah.
Perfect. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dissolve camera 2. Open A1, A2.
Hello, welcome to Q News. I am Morgan Drobny.
And I'm
Ready,
David
camera 3 and to
Kleinschusser.
close A2.
Students all over campus are getting quarantined.
Some that tested positive or in direct contact. Either way, it can be a very frustrating experience.
Take camera 3, close A2. Ready,
Contact
clips,
tracing
1,
students have
and
the option of
open
going
clips and
home for
close
2
A1.
weeks to complete their quarantine. Here is more on one student's experience being back at home and her thoughts on her quarantine experience.
Take clips 1, open clips.
Current
close
senior
A1.
at High Point University, Laura Plant, gets quarantined for 2 weeks. Luckily, she lives close by and can quarantine at her house instead of a hotel.
Luckily, I was able to quarantine at my house. I got the call on Friday evening, and they basically just called me and said, hey, you've been in contact with someone, like, you probably know why I'm calling. You're gonna have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And they said that since I lived in Winston-Salem, that I could go home if I wanted to, but it was completely optional. They said that they still had a hotel room for me in case I wanted to go there, but I chose to go home just because I thought it would be more comfortable and it would be less restrictive at my house. So I left school like 2 hours later and I got to my house and basically I just stayed in my basement for the next 2 weeks. But since I was at my house, I was able to like go outside and I have a pool, so like I sat by the pool. And I still went to like Starbucks occasionally. Like I made sure I wore my mask and I used hand sanitizer and washed everything. But
that's what I just realized.
It was nice because I was able to do other things than just sitting in a room by myself.
Overall, Laura's quarantine experience was a decent one. She's ready to go back to in-person classes and living on campus.
And take camera 3, open A1.
Laura and her
close
roommate
clips.
went back to in-person classes this week and are experiencing no signs of COVID-19 symptoms.
She's lucky.
Numbers
Ready,
are
camera 1,
decreasing
and
at
to
High
open
Point
A2
University,
close
and
A1.
students are hoping to keep it that way.
Take camera 1, open
A new
A2, close
incentive
A1.
given by High
Ready,
Point
clips.
University grants early decision freshmen the right
Roll
to their
clips.
own parking spots.
Take clips.
This is leaving
You're good.
upperclassmen scavenging for unavailable parking, making matters worse.
No.
Majority of freshmen did not bring vehicles to campus,
Ready, camera
so
3,
these
and
spots
to
are
open
wide
A1
open,
and close
and returning
A2.
students must resort to finding stray and inconvenient spots available on campus to avoid fines. Caffey and Centennial residences are finding themselves parking in
Austin can relate
distances
to this
as far as
story.
Congdon, and upperclassmen are aggravated with the university's decision
camera,
to give freshmen
3.
seniority on campus.
New updates regarding
Sorry.
High Point University's mobile ordering app.
Ready, clips. Take
With
clips.
students now being able to order meals online from the CAF and Chick-fil-A,
Ready,
you can
camera
now
2,
order
and
from
to
another
open
part of
A2.
campus, and by the time you walk over, your meal will be ready for pickup.
Take,
This has led to a
no.
decrease in wait time for dining on campus dining locations.
Take camera 2, open A2.
Up
Thanks
next
for
in Q
catching
News,
that. Ready,
coffee
clips
shops
1 and
are
open
now a
clips.
major trend.
Close A1
Let's
and
find
2.
out why.
Roll commercials. Alrighty. What happened there?
Opiates has taken everything and everyone
No,
I've
but we
ever
went
loved
to-
away from me. Everything. I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
Yeah, did you take
If
that, right?
making my detox public is going to help somebody,
That's fine.
I'm all for
It
it.
worked.
I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can
Time.
happen after just 5 days.
Ready,
know the
camera 1 and
truth. Spread the
open
truth.
A2. Take camera 1, open A2.
Downtown Greensboro continues to grow with new apartment complexes, hotels, and the Tanger Center
Ready, clips
soon
one, and
opening
to open
for theater
clips and close
goers.
A2.
A new coffee shop in Greensboro seems to be the go-to along with the area's recent development. Drew Lohman has more on why this coffee shop is becoming a fan favorite with locals.
Take clips one, open clips, close
Coffee
A2.
shops are a modern necessity. Whether the intention is to snap an artsy picture or to enjoy the delicacy, coffee has quickly become one of the most consumed beverages in the world.
Now, most people in our country see coffee as a quick grab-and-go opportunity, but here at Union Coffee Company in Greensboro, they have a different intention.
While Union serves cold brew, lattes, and premium coffee, their mission isn't simply to have the highest quality of coffee in the triad.
So we really want to cultivate relationships and have people slow down and just enjoy their cup of coffee and get to know people in our shop.
Union Coffee Company seeks to create a third space for customers.
I want to go there.
While most people have home and
Union
work,
Coffee?
Union wants customers to have a consistent third space.
Ready, camera one,
Their
and to
coffee
open
shop.
A2 and close clips.
I love coming to Union when I come to Greensboro. It's my favorite coffee shop.
Okay.
They have incredible coffee and great coffee connoisseurs behind the counter, making it for us.
Union provides a vibrant Brooklyn-esque atmosphere perfect for meetings, study sessions, or simply grabbing coffee with a friend. Their social media following continues to grow, with hopes to expand the brand.
So we opened about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now, and we're really hoping to expand to either another location in Greensboro or maybe a surrounding city within the next year.
For Q News, I'm Drew Lohman.
Take camera one, open A2, close clips.
Union Coffee is open Monday through
Ready, camera
Friday
three,
from
and to
7
open
a.m. to
A1,
6
A2.
p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Take camera three, open A1.
On
close
High Point
A2.
University's
Ready,
campus,
clips.
students in the university are
Roll
taking
clips.
many precautions to stay safe and healthy.
Take clips.
High Point University currently has under 25 active cases of COVID-19. Campus's social distance requirements
Ready,
allow
camera
members
one,
of
and to
clubs to now
open
request
A2 and
multiple
close A1.
rooms with a maximum of 25 people per room. Rooms must have at least double the capacity of expected number of attendees.
Take camera one, open A2, close
A
A1.
gloomy day at High
Ready,
Point
clips.
University as the 6-day sorority recruitment
clips.
goes virtual for the first time.
Take clips.
On September 4th, finding a future home was a whole new experience. Not only are potential new
Ready,
members
camera
dealing
two,
with
and
the
to open
stress of
A1.
recruiting, but
This is
now they
final
have an
story right
additional
now.
factor of making an impression online. This process is new for all members of Greek life on HPU's campus.
Take camera two, open A1.
Thanks
Ready,
for joining
clips,
us.
and to
I'm
open
Morgan
clips and close
Dropney.
A1,
Up next,
A2.
house star lacrosse player Asher Nolding deals with adversity.
And the High Point Rockers continue to find a way to roll without baseball. I'm David Kleinschuster. Q Sports is next.
Take clips, open clips, close A1, A2. Wonderful 2-minute break. So, yeah, roll is her, take is you. No, I'm rolling her, so when we go into it, it's not rolling her. So I'm gonna tell her to roll ahead of time, and then we're gonna take it, so that way when we go into it, it's already moving. So it's not like we go to a still image. Correct. Yeah, no, you're good, you're good. I mean, it works either way. The video, no one knows when it is dead. Camera 2, zoom out and down. Right there, you're good. I'm good with that shot.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if
60
you may
seconds.
have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back
Just
in
a
48
reminder, we are
seconds.
staying
So let's do
in
this
clips
now.
for the intro.
Hold up one finger if you're a man.
And we're gonna do
Women,
all,
0.
the intro, and then
3 more
because I
fingers
want
if
you
you're
to
over
fade
60.
down the audio fairly
2 over
quickly
50.
for the intro.
1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in
Is
mind
that
you're
in the
sitting on a
intro?
couch right now. So
Alex,
one more finger if you're not very active.
The intro
1 finger if
into
yes,
camera
0
two.
if no. 1 yes, 0 no.
the
Next,
dissolve
find the
that we
body
have on
type that looks
screen
most like you
for audio.
and hold up that many fingers while I look around
Ready, camera-
awkwardly.
Oh wait, that's right. Ready, clip.
And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes.
No.
Sorry to
What?
be so blunt, but hey, you're busy.
And
Just go to the site.
no, stay where you are. And roll intro. Ready, camera.
From the
yeah,
Nito
ready to
Quebec
dissolve
School
camera
of
2 and
Communication
open A2.
on the campus of High Point University. This is Q Sports Update.
And dissolve camera 2, dissolve A2.
Good evening. I'm Harris Eisenberg, along with Lauren Moore,
Ready
here to
camera
give you
3
this
and
week's
open
Q
A1
Sports
and
update.
close A2. Take camera 3, open
Winter
A1,
sports will
close
continue
A2.
here,
Ready, clips.
scheduled here at HPU with the men's and women's basketball team and indoor track
Roll
set
clips.
to compete.
Take clips.
To prepare this upcoming season, the women's basketball coach, Chelsea Banbury, and men's basketball coach, Tubby
You're good.
Smith,
You got it.
took part in a special media day presentation Monday morning. Both coaches answered questions about the upcoming
camera
season,
1
who to
and
look out
open
for on their
A2 and
teams,
close
and how
A1.
they've been preparing in the midst of COVID-19. We'll have a preview on the We'll have a preview of the season on next week's show.
Take camera 1, open A2, close A1.
What is it like growing up as an African American playing predominantly white
signal them to
sports?
use their,
Ashton
paper
Nolting from
backup.
HPU men's lacrosse team shares his thoughts on this topic with Q Sports reporter
Ready, clips
Tyler
1,
Stinson.
and to open clips and close A2. Take clips, open clips, close A2.
Probably be when I realized,
Have them use
lacrosse
their-
and golf were my two sports that
Hey,
I could
Austin,
see
have them
myself
use
playing in
their
the
paper
future.
backup.
Playing on my teams growing up and then playing in tournaments growing up for golf, I was always the only black
Correct.
kid. And so I always kind of viewed myself as a white
I'll
kid,
let you know
technically,
otherwise.
just because of the sports I played, when that's just not who I was. I just enjoyed playing those sports. I mean, when you're
That's what I
younger, you
thought
don't
it
really
was
see a
stupid.
difference. You just see if you're my friend, you're my friend. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, anything. I started realizing,
That's why I
man,
got a paper
I'm not like my friends. I don't look like my friends, so it's different. I'm kind of this like lone wolf with this situation of being the only black kid there.
I
I've
think it's
had some
brain sync.
racial run-ins, and that I think everyone who is an African American in a predominantly white sport, you've had those situations. Oh, you're the whitest black kid I know. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I play predominantly white sports. That doesn't make me white. Like, I'm still an African American.
Less than a minute.
I mean, my mom is white, my dad's black, and in return
they're
I
using
ended
paper
up
backups
being
right now.
an African American, so I identify as that. Then I was like, well, maybe I
Alley
am.
time.
I do act white, blah, 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 but I'm just acting like myself. It's not a white, black thing. It's just being who I am. It is different for me than you. It is different from
Ready, camera
someone
3
else than
and
me.
open
I
A1
haven't had the
close
experiences
A2.
that other people have had.
Start
They've
counting
had
down,
it way
Allie.
worse than I have. I think that having those conversations and having people become more aware of that is a huge step forward, and I think we need to continue to grow off of that. My one piece of advice would just be true to yourself. I mean, don't let anyone try to change who you are. So, I mean, regardless if you're playing a predominantly white sport or whatever sport you're playing, just be you. Don't try to fit into a group just because that's what you think will help you. You got to be yourself.
Take camera 3, open
High Point
A1,
University
close
women's
A2.
golf team competed in the tough Grandover Women's Griffin Amateur this past weekend. Graduate student Samantha Vaudry placed 13th with a score of 1 under 71 on Sunday. This was tied for the
Ready,
lowest
camera
round
1
of the
and to
tournament.
open A2 and
The
close
women's
A1.
team is back in action in 2 weeks at the Golf Week Carolina Amateur. This tournament is at the Carolina Country Club in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Take camera 1, open A2,
While the
close
Rockers
A1.
weren't able to play baseball this
Ready,
summer
clips
due to
1 and to open
COVID-19,
clips
they
audio
were able to
and
keep
close
High Point
A2.
rocking in other ways. JT Faribault has the story.
Ready, clips, take clips 1, open clips, close A2.
COVID-19 has impacted everyone in some way, so I sat down with Christian Highmall, the general manager of the High Point Rockers, to learn more about how they've kept downtown rocking with no baseball this season.
Given this pandemic, we've been very different. It started out with a lot of us
It was
doing community effort stuff, raising funds for different organizations, whatever we could do to just put smiles on people's faces.
Since the pandemic started, the High Point Rockers have become a crucial partner of downtown High Point.
It's forced us to really instill the mindset and the mission of community first.
Being classified as a nonprofit means the Rockers are able to give back to the local community in a much more meaningful way.
What would have been opening day back in April, we donated over 1,200 meals to first responders and to frontline medical workers. The very next week, we hosted a food drive that collected over 8,000 items for the Salvation Army. In the month of May, we did a t-shirt campaign. Our Safe at Home t-shirts raised almost $3,000 for the United Way of High Point.
The Rockers organization have donated thousands of backpacks to local kids in need, provided meals for frontline medical workers and first responders, and have raised thousands of dollars for local charities.
What we are doing here is creating an atmosphere and creating a base for the city of High Point to be able to help its citizens and to be able to grow its city.
Highmall and the Rockers hope that what they're doing inspires others in the High Point area to give back and do their part to make a difference in the local community.
Roll clips. Open A1, close clips.
Dodgers and Tampa Bay Rays are currently competing for the 2020 World Series title. The Dodgers had the best record in the National
Staying
League
on
at
clips for
43-17, and the Rays had the
Ready,
best
camera
record in
three,
the American
this is
League,
safety.
finishing 40-20. The Dodgers have not won a World Series since 1988,
Ready to
and the
open
Rays
A1
franchise
and
have
close
yet to
A2.
win a World Series. The series started Tuesday evening, and it is now tied at 1 game apiece.
Open A1, close A2.
The Miami Dolphins
Ready,
announced
camera
on Tuesday
one is
changing their
backup.
lineup for their starting quarterback. Tua
Allie, watch the
Tagovailoa
time on
will be
this.
making his starting debut in their Week 8 matchup against the LA Rams. Tagovailoa replaces veteran Ryan Fitzpatrick in the starting lineup.
Ready
The
to
Dolphins
roll
have high
clips
hopes for
and
their
to
first-round
open
draft pick,
A1 and close
aiming to make
A2.
him their franchise player. He saw his first NFL action in a blowout win over the Jets this past Sunday, showing his ability by going 2 for 2 for 9 yards.
Roll clips, open A1, close
The
A2.
end of Week 6, only 3 undefeated teams remain in the
Ready,
NFL.
camera three
The
is
Seattle
backup.
Seahawks, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Tennessee Titans, who are all 5-0 coming into Week 7. The Seahawks were the only one of these 3 teams to not play in Week
Ready,
6,
camera one,
as
and
they
to
were on their
open
bye
A2
week.
and close
The
A1.
Titans defeated the Houston Texans 42-36 in overtime, while the Steelers blew out the Cleveland Browns 38-7. The Steelers and Titans will face each other in Week 7 at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Take camera 1, open A2, close A1.
Things just went from bad to worse for the Dallas Cowboys.
They did.
Going into the 2020 season, they had one of the top offensive lines in the NFL. It's now Week 6, and they are down to 1 starter. After an embarrassing 38-10 loss on Monday night to Arizona, players reportedly criticized head coach Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff. According to Bleacher Report, several
camera
players
three,
stated
and
that the
open
coaches
A1
are not
and close
prepared,
A2.
do not know what they are doing, and that they would rather come up with their own plays themselves than listen to their coaches.
Take camera 3, open A1,
Le'Veon Bell
close
got
A2.
his wish. The former Steelers star was released by the New York Jets last Wednesday and has now signed with the Chiefs. Bell was frustrated in his time in New York, where
Ready,
he
camera
averaged
one,
less
and
than
to
4
open
yards per
A2
carry
and
in
close
2
A1.
seasons. Bell looks to rediscover his Pro Bowl form alongside Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid after signing a 1-year contract, jumping from arguably the worst team in the NFL to one of its best.
Take camera 1, open A2,
This
close
past
A1.
Monday, after over 3,500 professional and Olympic
Final
hockey
story.
games, Hall of Fame broadcaster Mike "Doc" Emmerich officially announced his retirement.
Ready,
Emmerich
camera
retires after
three,
a 47-year
and to
career that
open
included
A1 and
22 Stanley
close
Cup Finals
A2.
and 6 Winter Olympics.
Remember, we have a
Emmerich is
sport
most known for his
outro
unique
after the,
vocabulary, as he
intro
used
outro.
over 100 different verbs to describe the puck, movement of the puck. Emmerich has been the NHL's lead play-by-play announcer on nationally televised games since 1995.
Take camera 3,
Thank you
open
for tuning
A1,
in to
close
this
A2.
week's
Ready,
Q Sports
clips
Update.
one,
I'm
and
Lauren
open
Moore
clips
with
and
Harris
close A1.
Eisenberg. We'll see you next week.
Take clips 1, open clips, close A2, ready to face the black. And fade to black, fade audio. And stop recording. Stop recording? Beautiful. Wonderful. You did great that run through.